can always switch to the other camera.
Yeah. I don't know this full screen.
Right. Hello. New camera set up this time compared to the old one, which means I can zoom. And we've got some. Oh, it's not going to like it if I move the stuff around for the focus, but we've got some custom guns here we're going to build today. If you're in the chat, say hello. Myself and Corey will do our best to answer any questions. And when I say we, I mean Corey, because I'm probably going to miss it. So, today's video we're going to put together the Valkyrie VMP9s. These are two custom guns for the bespoke Airsoft website. They're built on a KWA QRF Mod 3, but we're going to do some bits and pieces to the Gearbox, custom paint on the cerakote, which is a new blend that I've done today. It's a little bit better than the previous one that we did on number 1, serial number 1. This is serial number 2 and serial number 3. There's only 3 of these guns I'm going to build. It's like a weird greenish, brownish tungsten colour. I messed around with the mixture today, and this is the colour that we're going to call the Valkyrie colour. So, hi Ian, hi Charles. We're just going to give it a few minutes and I'm going to get into building these guns, so you'll be able to take you along for the ride. When I've done live streams in the past, we've done a bit of gaming. People don't tend to go for that on this this channel, so I'd rather bring you guys along for the ride and we can do some custom gun bits, and you guys seem to like that. So if you're here, just say hello. If we don't read out or reply to your comment, just comment again, and we'll look out for it and try and keep on top of it. So I'm probably going to be like fumbling a little bit while I'm reading as I'm putting these together. It's very different putting these together on a live stream compared to when you're doing it, you know, in a closed environment. So if I do speak and give wrong information, just take it with a pinch of salt, because I'm trying to focus on the live stream more. But we'll get into building it. Like I said, KWA Mod 3s. We took these apart. They're having a Lilacs Prometheus inner barrel and hot rubber. However, the inner barrels will be a little bit different. We've gone for a longer inner barrel, which I've turned down, put a nice crown on the end, and they've also been ported. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this, but they've been ported. Let's see if I can zoom in. The camera isn't going to like it. Nope. So I'm not going to be able to focus that. I'll get there eventually. But unfortunately my DSLR doesn't autofocus on its own. So they're ported in the end, about 10mm down or so, which will aid as the rounds leave the barrel. It will stop any excess air, giving any fluctuations in the BB's flight path. The Maple Leaf Crazy Jets do something similar to this. This is technology taken from the old 2012 Sistema barrels, if you're familiar with them. But so you're not just getting a standard Lilacs Prometheus barrel, you're getting one that's been modified, of course. In the gearbox, we're fitting gate asters. I fitted an absolute crap ton of gate titans, more than I can count. But we'll be doing some asters. I haven't fitted an aster before, so you never know. Might make a mistake or two, but that's what we're here for. So you're getting a gate aster MOSFET in the box. You're getting a max model piston head for better compression, and you're getting a max model trigger as well. And then of course you get the custom Valkyrie blend colour, as we're going to call it from now on. You're also going to get a pack of 3 magazines in the box as well, so there'll be 4 magazines total that come with it. So we'll get started, we'll get building. Even Alex, any thoughts about Maple Leaf 602 in a barrels? Been thinking about one for or a Prometheus for my DMR. If it's an AEG, I'd go with the Prometheus barrel. Maple Leafs are good. VSRs, GBBRs. In AEGs, they're not bad. They're just, I think the Prometheus are a better choice. So I'll hand it over to you now, Corey. You can keep an eye out.
I was just going to say hello to Mark, Andrew and Rob, and obviously Alex just sent on Facebook, and hello to Hugh, and I'm just going to say Dolman, because that's all I can really understand of that name on on YouTube. I'm not on Twitch, so I can't look at anything on that, but we tend to only have 1 or 2 on there anyway, so I'm probably just going to leave it at watching YouTube and Facebook for myself for now. Plus my internet will probably crap itself if I tried to have the stream 3 times over.
Well, that's the thing, innit? We should be coming clearer through on the image quality using a DSLR that we've jerry-rigged up to the PC.
Better on my
Is it
it's
looking
better on my end, so yeah.
That's good. So, as easy as the live stream webcam is to use, this is like much clearer. I should think so. The camera's like nearly £3,000 when we bought it, so now it's being used as a glorified webcam, but that's the way things go.
Andrew is asking what gear set do you run in your PP19?
I believe it's a Lonex gear set. Off the top of my head, I think it's high speed. If it's not a high speed, it will just be a normal. What do you call it? Help me out here, Corey.
You're asking me the
like a normal ratio. So it'll either be a high speed or a normal ratio. So, but yeah, Lonex set. It's exactly the same as the ASG Ultimates. So, hi Nikki, how's it going?
Yeah, Mark's asking how much are they finished items. I'm guessing the finished guns that you're making now. Have we decided?
Honest answer at the moment, I don't know. We'll obviously have to. It's pretty easy to factor in like all the bits like the guns, the mags, the upgrade parts that go into the rifles as well. Difficult part is just working out the labour and material costs to doing the cerakote and the engraving. Now, what you'll see here is they've got a lovely engraving. So on the right hand side of the rifle, there's a Valkyrie, like a female warrior logo. That deep etch in itself takes about an hour on the machine, so it does take a while because of how deep we go down. You got Valkyrie VMP9 9x19mm. I'm giving it a real caliber because who wants 6mm BB Airsoft on the side of their gun? As many gun experts like to tell me on YouTube, 45 cal on an AR-15 or whatever. But you've got SN for serial number, you've got VMP9 00102. This is being number 2, this is number 3. The number 1, obviously, we kept for ourselves. It's what Amanda uses at the games. Jaeger Precision, England, UK. You might not be able to see that perfectly on the live, unless let me. Right, I'm gonna try something here for you guys. Let's see. So, Valkyrie VMP9. The reason I've called it a VMP9 is because they use like an MP9 style mag. And obviously I can't call it an MP9, so Valkyrie VMP9 was the next best thing. and then I'll just flip it over there just so you can see the Valkyrie on the side. So I wanted to do something a lot more personalised without, you know, sort of stepping in and going, right, people can order whatever engravings they want, because that can get a bit long-winded, shall we say. But I think these are going to need opening up to go over this barrel.
Yeah, we're good, thanks, Nicky. He's knackered yesterday from Airsoft at West Midlands. How was it? Was it good?
It's probably going to take him a while to.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because again we're behind on the thing anyway, so they're gonna be waiting.
I'm going to have to open these
Just
up.
knocked my glass on my tooth out.
Oh no! Don't want to chip your teeth.
No, well, yeah.
These brass rings do my head in because they sometimes get stuck on the Promi barrels. Which is going to get stuck there, so there we go. Just going to have to open them up a little bit. But how are we all? If you're watching, let us know in the old comment section. I'll do my best to sort of try and stay on topic, but
on top of the comments.
yeah.
Oh, on topic.
On topic.
Did you go anywhere this weekend? Just gone, James? For games,
No. I was working in the shop on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, what did I do yesterday? I was catching up with some cerakote, and
yeah.
You'll be aware that I'm doing this rifle for Josh.
Yeah. That was funny.
I was
conversation.
I was media blasting the coating that's on the rail did not want to come off. Then I started having compressor troubles. Then I snapped the connector on the compressor because I thought there was a slight air leak on the fitting, so I tightened it up, and as I tightened it up, the casting of where the fitting's going to snapped or cracked. So I was having a nightmare of a day yesterday, and then I spent the other half of the day in the old lazy spa. Trying to forget what happened.
That sounds like earlier we were putting out. So we were back in work again today. We were putting out a load of like loungers for around the pool, and we were putting out the bases for like the umbrella things. And one of them looked slightly off. So one of the managers said to my mate Alex, he was like, "Oh, you're strong," because he's a bodybuilder, so they were taking a mick. And I was like, "Oh, just bend that a bit." So as he stood on it, he bent it. It just snapped straight away. Just absolutely pisses myself laughing. They weren't best pleased, but to be fair, that was their fault, and they were like, "Yeah, sorry."
Dear.
Nick says, yeah, it was good. I had a total of 7 kilograms of fitness plates in my vest, plus the 1 litre HBA bottle, and being a fat star, I'm definitely unfit. Oh dear. So it seems like it was a very tiring day for Nicky yesterday.
Yeah.
Evening, James.
It's always that when you go back to an airsoft game after you haven't been for a while.
Yeah.
And all your gear's a bit tighter, especially after being in lockdown for how long?
Yeah.
All your gear's a bit tight, you're a bit unfit.
I think I've resized mine twice, and I still haven't been to it again properly. So, but hopefully I think I've definitely got one next month on the 23rd, and then possibly going to another one on the 9th. So should be good, hopefully.
But yeah, I haven't heard of Josh again since our little deal was made.
Laugh.
I was media blasting all that stuff, and it took me pretty much most of the day. And I was like, "Oh, is this worth it? Should I just keep the rifle?"
Yeah. Yeah. You've done it all nice for yourself now as well.
There we go. So if you're ever fitting a Prometheus barrel to a KWA, sometimes these little brass rings you get with a hop go tight. So you have to just open them up slightly with a smooth file is probably the best way to do it. Make sure it's not opened up too much.
Evening, Romeo.
Romeo. Nice to see a few familiar faces coming back.
Yeah. Nicky says, James, can you get a Bowden spring for box mags?
What now? A Bowden spring?
Bowden. I don't know how to say it. Just that's what I'm reading.
Bowden Spring. You'll have to help me out a bit there, Nico. Either it means something in a different, like a sort of a different name, or
Yeah. Not sure. I can't help you on that one, unfortunately.
But yeah, Bowden Spring on a box mag. I'm not really too sure. Do you offer packages where you can upgrade yourself? You would just provide all the correct parts. That'd probably be like a bit of a challenge kit. We haven't done that before, but I suppose we could. Usually people like us to fit all the parts, so it's
no Q on. It's just an airsoft gun. I believe that's coming from Twitch. Oh no, it was from YouTube. I just didn't see it.
from the YouTubes.
From the YouTubes. Yeah, just an airsoft gun.
These barrels aren't quite lining up. There we go.
Wouldn't like to see a barrel
just
that
takes a
small
bit-
on a real gun.
Yeah. Although
It's that long.
technically a 6mm BB is slightly bigger than a
Well, yeah.
than some
It's bigger than
rounds
MP7
anyway.
round, isn't it? 4.6. And P90 and the FN57 use a 5.7, obviously. So,
And an M4 5.56.
yeah.
But yeah.
Evening, Brian and Phil. How you both doing?
Lads. Here's the post office boys. They'll know what I mean.
Oh, right, okay. That's completely over my head.
They'll know what I mean.
Alright, okay. It's always good then.
You had to be there. The spring that fills the BBs.
Yeah.
For MG. So are you just talking about like a spring feed tube?
A GMP Stoder box mag to hop unit. Right.
So can we get them? Maybe. It's not something we usually get asked for, so I couldn't really tell you, to be honest.
Phil says he's recovering from Warzone. And Brian's doing alright, I would say.
So
Is that Warzone a site or Warzone the game? Because nowadays it could be either.
well, if he's recovering from Warzone, I'd imagine it's a game.
But you say that I'd have to recover from an evening of playing Warzone.
Oh, yeah.
It's so painful.
That is a thing. So
I've not played it since it's changed either. So.
Okey-dokey. I'm just gonna
Site in Coventry. Cool.
see. Brian's got one of my.
I think you said last time, yeah.
He loves it to bits.
If I remember rightly. Yeah, I think when they were last watching, I think we had this similar discussion.
So if I do need to do any tappy noises, I'll mute my microphone. And if the main camera does conk out because of the battery, because we're using a DSLR, I'll switch over to the webcam, so it will go out. If it does go out, it'll only be temporarily.
Steve Collins on YouTube is asking how much would this set me back, but I believe we've discussed that James doesn't really know the prices at the moment. He's just got to do a bit of thinking about them, as they're going to be custom builds, I believe.
Yeah, we leave that up to the accountant.
Fair enough. There you go.
So-
There's an easy answer.
He'll say, "Here's how much you need to sell it for to
If
make
you
any
want
money."
it, you won't worry about the price. Is pretty much the answer there at the moment.
I'd like to say, or I'd like to aim to have it cheaper than, or same price or cheaper than a custom, one of the official custom KWAs.
Yeah.
Where the last one they did, the Kaiju, was like, well, that was like really, really high in price. It was like £675. The only thing I will say about the custom KWAs, the official ones compared to these, you're getting more with this. You're getting hop and barrel upgrades, which you don't get with the KWA ones. You're getting compression modifications with the max model piston head, which you don't get on the KWAs. You get it. In fact, they might do custom triggers on the official ones. So we will see.
Stu's asking, did see somewhere you were making Evo CNC outer barrels with 14mm threads, or have I dreamt it?
Say again.
He said, I did see somewhere you were making Evo CNC outer barrels with 14mm threads, or have I dreamt it?
I have done in the past. It's not something official that we do, but we have done them in the past. It depends.
Yeah,
depends.
Obviously.
I do have to use a buddy of mine's lathe to do it, just to, because the Evos have that really chunky sort of rear section where the body pin goes through, and it's just it like corner to corner. I think it's about 40 to 50mm wide. So although I could hold the barrel in my lathe, you need a really big lathe to be able to clear that in the inner clearance hole of the chuck. So I chuck it on my buddy's lathe, and he helps me out and do it. So otherwise we do it on the ones we've got, but lathes aren't cheap. So
Brian's warming to the KWA T10 now. He says it's working good.
That's good.
And then we've got Cobster on YouTube saying, is the Crytek Mark II Trident CRB a good gun?
Short answer, yes. But
Long answer.
Well, if you want that gun, you're going to buy that gun, aren't you? It's very.
Yeah. This is the thing. Most guns can be good if you put a bit more into it anyway. If it just depends. If you're getting something for a look, get it for that look, and then just go from there.
Yeah. Oh. Right. Just gonna do a bit of tappy tapping.
Okay, okay.
Nice to see a good amount of people in again. I think
It's nice, isn't it?
This is the key in future. Build guns.
I think it's just because people are interested to see
I've put the handguard on.
like things being worked on.
Yeah.
So you got 2 tonight, haven't you? And then you're doing both of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've prematurely put
Very
that on
nice.
there.
Right. Whilst you're not muted, I'm just gonna go get a drink very quickly.
Okie dokie. So I take it many of you have been to games this weekend. How did that go? God, these rails can be tight sometimes. But I need to put the gas block on first. So how was the site in Cov, Phil? Take it that's where you went, Warzone. How did you get on there?
I have returned.
Just trying to manhandle these rail on. There we go.
said it was good at Warzone, finished at 9:30 with the last game in the dark.
9:30.
I know, that's mad, isn't it?
Was it like an all day for a morning, or was it quite a late game?
All day meme.
All day memes, yeah. That's I don't know, it's a game and a half, that is. If you'd been doing it all day, I'd have got to like 3-4 o'clock and I'd have been like completely.
Especially if it's the first game you've played in like a year or so, you'd be absolutely shafted.
Yeah. That first game we did, what was it? Not Saturday, just gone, the one before.
Yeah. Oh, he says it started at 1. Okay, fair
so
enough.
it's a late game.
Yeah. Brian was saying Warzone's good. Played till 9:30. Red Tracers were amazing.
Red Tracers. You didn't go for the old mixing the red and the green and putting on a bit of a light show, no?
It's an interesting time to start. 1 o'clock.
Yeah. It's a very late time to start. On a Sunday as well.
Yeah. But then again, I suppose it depends on what people are doing, doesn't it? Like, if people haven't got work still, if they're still in lockdown like me. So, like,
That's the thing.
well, I mean, I had work, but
All the way from Pennsylvania, USA. Welcome.
yeah. I recognise that name from last week as well, or whenever the last stream was.
Was it? Was it the same?
Yeah, because I had to call someone Rhino. So just remember seeing that bit.
Nice to see we're spreading far and wide.
Well, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Phil says was just blinding people with O lights. It was a Saturday game.
No,
Oh, it was Saturday, right? Okay, fair enough. Not that it makes much difference to most people nowadays, given that
it's quite a late
some
game,
people work weekends and stuff.
Yeah. What gun was you using, Phil? Love a good O-light, mate. People there's a lot of flack for people that use O-lights, but honestly, they're a good product.
Is that because of something about some of them blowing up in people's faces or something?
No,
or is that different from these ones?
It's more like people. You never heard of that? Another good flex ruined by an O-light or something they say.
No, I've never heard of that.
HPA ARP9 for the memes.
No, Brian was using the KWA 350 FPS spring all the way in.
So see there, we've got the VMP9 upper. This colour's absolutely beautiful. And you probably won't see it massively clearly on this camera, but you've got Valkyrie VMP9 etched into the upper as well. Very cool. Really do like this colour.
Is it the same colour as the first one, or is it slightly different?
I did a slightly different mix just to
make it a little bit different.
Make it a little bit different. Just tweak the colour a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's only slight.
Yeah.
And that was just to make these a little bit different to the one that we did for myself and Amanda. Just so people are getting something unique.
Yeah.
This is a unique colour. This isn't the colour that comes out when you. What am I trying to say? This isn't the colour that comes out when you buy the tungsten colour from Cerakote. So, but you can mix colours, and sometimes
it works well.
They give you a great result. Yeah. So this is I'm gonna call it the Valkyrie colour. So what I did was when I mixed it, I noted down like the ratios,
so you can do it again if you want to.
So I can always replicate it. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So there's literally just some weird, wacky writing on one of my whiteboards with some names that make no sense with milliliters next to them or centiliters. I can't remember. Which just says awesome Valkyrie colour.
Oh dear. Evening lunatic.
But we have an upper ready to go. There we are. Beautiful. a lot of dress parts to put on this lower before we get to the gearbox stuff, so those of you waiting around to see the technical gearbox working stuff, you're going to have to wait a minute.
A bit longer.
But it does sort of space the stream out a little bit, so keep your questions coming in, guys. I'll do my best to answer them. I really do love the mag release on this one.
Mm.
If I can remember how this goes. I think it's like that. Like so. Good, are we in place? We're slightly off a little bit. There we go. There we go.
Brian says he needs a new toy. What are you thinking about getting, Brian?
The third KWA, Brian?
Need a mod 1, a mod 2 and a mod 3. All of which using different mags.
Wow. There'll be 2 custom KWAs going up, Brian, so you never know if you want to be unique.
Gotta get in there quick though, should I imagine.
Get that American Express out and
Oh dear.
get your frequent flyer miles. Right. Let's get these correct.
Brian says cash only.
Cash only. Well, I'm not going to turn down your cash if you want to pay cash, but spending that big dollar, eh, bro?
Phil's thinking the KWA 47, which is like the... Is that the normal one of the kaiju, is it?
I believe so.
I'm assuming. It makes sense, I guess, with the magazine sort of thing.
Ugh. So we're going to be so careful with those ball bearings. Popped out of place. So would be the bit of magneticity? What am I trying to say, Corey?
Magnetic? Or is, oh no, hold on. I think, yeah, it's probably doesn't work. I know what you mean. It's fine. don't try and say it. Oh dear.
It's these little ball bearings, they're a pain in the backside. And they love to just shoot out.
Mm.
So I might curse a bit here, guys. I'm sorry if I do. And if you misline the tool to try and line it up,
yeah,
it shoots the bearings out.
Oh dear.
So if the tool slips, like mine's just done twice. You know what? Let's do it the easier way.
Get someone else to do it.
Let's get the other side in first. Oop. Probably the most tedious part, apart from fitting the spring and pin sections for the body pins. That can be a pain in the backside as well. I think let's do this smart. Let's just make it a little bit James, could you run a BB feed line to the SMC9 mag so I can have the BB box in a backpack with a HPA tank? Is it something you could do? It's not something we specifically do. It can be done. You'd have to do some quite heavy modifications to the bottom of the mag. There are people out there that do that, as in they do it quite often, but it's not something we specifically do at the moment. Usually when people do it, there's a lot of adrenaline and epoxy involved. So it's not like you can get that
not like an easy job.
Showroom finish, no. So this should hold that in place. That'll make our life easier. I would say about the time I did this like wrong about 6 times in a row.
Yeah, you did. Last time you did it, because you did it twice in a row last time when you explained it.
Did I?
Yeah.
It's the little ball bearings, because if it shoots out,
Yeah.
it's just almost impossible to find it.
I had that the other day when I was taking apart the mount for a QD lever for my ear tech, and the spring that holds in one part just went flying. And because everything's carpet, or there was like, I have like a really big mouse pad like on my desk.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear it where it went. Somehow I managed to find it. I think it somehow it managed to get under my monitor, like with the proper like base that's like flush on the floor.
To like the last place that you look.
Yeah, it's so random. I think Matt was on Discord when I was when I was doing it. He was giggling to himself. Yeah, I was looking for about 15-20 minutes and I eventually found it.
You can join us on Discord as well, guys. The link should be in the description box on all 3 platforms. Let's get all this blast media out of these holes. Oh. Is that going to fit? Might be a bit too big. Yeah, we haven't actually had the KWA 47s in just yet. We've had like the limited edition.
You had the Ronin one, didn't you? Yeah.
Like the Kaiju, but we haven't had the standard models in yet.
Have you just been shouted?
No, I don't think so.
No, unless he's having a go at the cat again.
Maybe. They are mischievous. Are you shouting me? What's up?
I need you.
Oh, it couldn't have been a more awkward time. What's up?
Fucking curtain poles just fell as I've tried to close it.
God. You have to wait a minute.
Oh, you're recording?
Yeah, well, it's live.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed in a minute.
Oh, just give me 5-10 minutes.
Eddie's just asked, just bought the AS valve from you guys. Do you know anywhere that does the VSS M stock?
Which brand?
I cannot help.
I'll be there in a minute.
I know, just watching it.
If we just had it off, it might be the King Arms. Pass, unfortunately. Not 100% sure.
Don't eat it. Yeah, he said the King Arms one, yeah.
The M stock. I'm not too sure. Knowing King Arms, not the easiest stuff And the not the easiest people in the world to deal with, if I'm honest. So they can be an absolute pain in the backside.
Mm.
And when I say can, they mostly are pains in the backside. But let's see if we're going to have another horrendous day with these pins. No, we're going to be good today.
On that one.
On this one, the second one might have a... Well, depending on how long it takes, I might only do one. So
yeah, that's fair. To be fair, we've already been streaming for 40 minutes so far.
come on,
It goes pretty quick.
there we go. Nice solid clack. That's what you want to hear. Just going to go save the damsel in distress. So if you can fill in for 2 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. Romeo, that'll be a question for when James gets back properly. As he'll know that more than I will. So for those that are watching, where are you planning on going next for games?
Right, what I miss?
Right, so Romeo asked about if when you're going to be doing more HPA.
HPA.
I don't know if anything specific or not.
HPA guns?
Possibly. I don't know. And then he put up a link, I believe, to Hardline Airsoft Members Group. I don't know what that's for. We've got Haribo says, hi everyone, hello from Romania. One question. Is there any chance to fit a HBA on an AK-74 102 from E&L? If yes, what company will have to sell the mod? Thank you.
HPA.
On an AK-102
Should just be like a
from E&L.
version 3
Sort of
sort of conversion. So I mean, technically most should fit. I'd probably get one that just fits in place of the cylinder, like a Wolverine, Inferno, or something like that, over the Polarstar stuff, and it should just go straight in the box. As far as I'm aware, I'm not. It's a shame Josh isn't with us because he'd probably be the best to answer that question.
I haven't seen much of E&L stuff anyway, so and again I can't really help in the case of taking this. Rhino says, I've got a front rail almost exactly like the one on the rifle you're working on, just turned upside down. Trying to think what gun that would be from, because I think I know what you mean.
He's got a front rail.
Basically like the one on the gun at the moment, but it's upside down. Yeah, possibly.
Could be the 40s.
Cool. Simon says, hello. Is it... Oh, I'm guessing that's a site, Simon. I'm not even going to attempt to butcher the name. It's not a fake.
Yeah, problem with carrying away when they fit these little springs for the body pins in. I've noticed recently noticed recently that they're tapered.
Oh right.
And so that was why they get stuck.
Oh.
One of these, when I took it apart, was an absolute pain in the arse. Would not come out for love nor money.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping if it's this one, it'll go back in.
In regards to Romeo's question earlier about HPA and when you're going to be doing more, he means supplies like engines, tanks, valves, etc.
We're looking into it. So I think currently we're going to start offering. I'm trying to say here. And I've just made a massive mistake.
HPA refills? Is that what you're going to say? I think you said about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put this spring in before I put the pin in. So This is what I mean by these body pins. They're an absolute pain in the backside. I have to push this through. It's going to get stuck.
So you're just trying to figure out all the HPA stuff out at the moment, apart from the
Yeah.
like bottles and stuff, like the refills.
Yeah.
Cool. Brian says, ask James about my nice Evo Scorpion AEG. I don't know if that's in relation to a question earlier or just.
So he's actually, yeah, he bought my Scorpion. It's like a cryptic patterned Scorpion. It's lovely. But I think he loves it to bits. To be honest, it's a really nice gun.
Yeah. That's right.
Right, a bit of bother here. Carried away. He's coming to.
Has he gone full retard? Has it?
Yeah, he's gone
Oh.
full. I wanna cause you havoc spec.
Right.
But you'll see how things always don't go as smoothly on stream. So I'm gonna have to punch this through. This is the problem with the springs being tapered.
Yeah, as they get stuck.
They get stuck, and then when you pull a silly move like forgetting to put the pin in first. Luckily, the pin not being in, should be able to tap this through. Mr. Codaway always finding ways to mess with you. He's very good at that. Come on. Yeah, they fucking mess these springs up.
Hmm. Why do you think they've done it tapered then?
I think it's just they're a bit heavy-handed when they fit them.
Oh. Right, fair enough.
I'm probably gonna have to make a new spring for this one.
Ah. Is it proper shagged?
Yes, I'll probably just trim it. It'll be
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, they do it with the front pins as well.
Hmm.
They've been fine for God knows how many years, you know, no issues.
Just randomly they just start.
To be honest, for anyone buying one, you'd never experience the problem.
Yeah, I suppose it's just for sort of your end of working on them, I guess.
Yeah. So, I will need to pull this one out. But yeah, removing them to get the them initially built, huge bother.
Hmm.
Huge bother. Just gonna have to try and tap this one out. So loud tapping noises. Sorry guys. Oh, are we through? Yeah, that's what they like to do. They like to separate, but I think I can salvage this one. So let's trim it. To be honest, if the other ones like it, I'm just going to trim the tapered section off.
Okay. So do they not? Do they do? Is there much they do? To be honest.
It's just
Like-
it holds the body pin in.
Right. Okay.
So there we go. It's okay. It's okay. Panic over. Trying to get them out, I almost impaled myself with one of these little Allen keys. It was, you know, you slip.
Not
Well, I don't know
funny.
if you've ever used a tool and you've slipped, and then you're like,
Oh yeah.
you have
Yeah.
that weird brief moment where you probably aren't going to feel pain just yet.
Yeah.
Like when you
Yeah,
accidentally
Allen
stab
keys is
yourself
probably
with
one of the
something.
worst, really. Bloody horrible Allen keys.
Yeah, it was one of them moments, and then I was expecting to just my finger to start pouring
Bleeding.
with blood, but I was okay. Enough to give me a jab, not enough to puncture.
Yeah.
So it was all good.
Sometimes it hurts more when it does that.
Oh, it definitely hurt. Definitely hurt. I think we're okay. But concentrate your face. I've been kicked out to the throne.
Because of you and that hammer. I'm guessing it was quite loud on the stream.
Kicked out to the throne? What does he mean by that?
Oh, I have no idea. Unless he means the loo.
Wasn't he on the loo
Or
last
shed
time?
outside.
Wasn't Romy on the loo last time?
I don't know. Possibly. Like how I remember the names, you just remember where they were.
I'm sure someone said they were on the loo last time.
Oh, I can't remember.
Lou.
Oh, yeah.
We're okay, boys. Panic over.
He said, yeah, I was. I don't
Well,
know
he
why
wasn't,
you remember
though.
that though, James.
Because I just remember him saying he was on the toilet.
Oh, good lord.
Hey, it's not my fault. You were on the toilet. Right. Bit of a delay there, but we're still good. Let's get the old gearbox out.
Bum me.
Let's get to the good stuff, the old meat and taters.
Eating taters.
The meat and potatoes. What do I need? I need a T10. So has he been kicked out back to the loo? Oh man, I'm still confused.
No. I just think he's been
What was you doing? Streaming it on
Told to
a
leave.
TV, and I was just hitting something with a hammer. It was causing too much noise.
breaking the speaker. Like.
Dear me. This room's starting to heat up because. How's the weather been down by you? Been all right?
Today it was sunny, just a bit windy, so it's a bit cold, which is a bit weird. But yeah, it's been alright. We haven't had rain for a while, but supposedly there's meant to be quite a lot of rain for the rest of the week, wasn't it? Doesn't bother me too much.
No.
Ain't got anywhere to go.
It's been nice and warm, but
Yeah.
I've been stuck doing this like laser engraving commission, so I've had to
Yeah.
deep etch 30 M4s.
Bloody hell.
And not just like one logo, it's like logos on the top. No, the both sides and the bottom near the trigger guard.
Mm. But that's all
been
do, isn't it?
oh yeah, massive. And then it's not for an airsoft related stuff. It's actually air guns.
Oh, okay.
They're going to Germany,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a pain in the ass because the air guns that we're etching, basically we're covering up a logo that's already there. So we do a box, and then it's had a deep etched American flag with some writing and some serial numbers on. But the logo that's originally on it, they're all over the place. So you can't just make a jig and suit all. all the engravings
Gotta
are all
move
over the
about
place.
that.
So
Oh
when
no.
the company in China's obviously made them, they've just like massively
They've just
screwed,
shifted it around. They're like, that'll
massively
do.
screwed up, yeah. And I get to deal with it. So
Romy says no. She said baby is sleeping, so fuck off to the bog. As I'm always on the phone on the loo. That's great. Oh dear.
I do normally switch the mic off, but it was just a spur of the moment, tappy wacky. So what?
That's making me giggle.
Tappy wacky. Well, it's because you give it a tap, but then you realise you need to hit it harder, so you give it a whack.
Okay.
And then you give it another tap to see where it is, and then you realise you haven't done it enough, so you give it another whack.
It's a full Terry's chocolate orange, is it?
Terry's, yeah. So we're going to call it a Dawn French. Don't tap it.
Dawn French manoeuvre.
Dawn French, yeah. Tappy wacky.
Oh dear. Someone gets confused, throws it in a massive puddle.
Throws it in a puddle?
Yeah, you not seen the Vicar of Dibley? The puddle that she jumps in.
No.
And it's like a massive, great big hole, and she just disappears into it.
No, I didn't see that.
That's literally one of the most like famous things from it. There's two of them. It's her and some other bloke, I think. They're walking down like a country lane, and he jumps in a puddle, and it's like it does a little splash, and then she jumps in the next one. It's a big fuck off hole, and she just disappears.
I've seen people do that, like, for real.
Yeah.
So, you know, when people on YouTube do it, and they're like, "Oh, jump in the puddle," and they just disappear into this like manhole.
Disappear into the abyss.
Oh dear.
Oh Christ.
Right.
Funny.
We have an old gate Astor here. Oh, did I take the thread lock downstairs? I think I did. Nice new.
Did you try that brushless motor in the end?
No, not yet. I haven't had time.
Oh, okay. You haven't had something like a point spin.
It's far too much going on. You know what I mean? Far too
Lee
much.
is asking, hi mate, I have a question. I'm looking at getting an X rental and banging a Polarstar Fusion or F2 and can't decide what's best. What's your advice?
Polarstar Fusion or F2?
Or F2 and can't decide what's best.
Honestly, I'd go for the Wolverine. They are just made so well. And the guy who runs Wolverine, Rich, is a really nice guy, so I'd say go and support him.
Go and look into Wolverine a bit.
Yeah. Push that over there. So take this off here. So I need to flip this casing over. A lot of Polarstar and HPA questions going on.
Yeah. Load say that. Not seen much about them though, so we'll have a look, pal. Thanks.
It's just a better company to go for. I'm not saying that Polarstar's bad. I've had Polarstars in the past. My first HPA gun that I had was a VFC 416C with a Polarstar Fusion engine in. Just Wolverine, he just puts more. Until recently, he was doing so much more innovation compared to Polarstar, and the dude is just a genuine legend. So I have not got enough good things to say about Rich, and I bumped into him in person quite a few times at the gun shows and stuff, and we've always got on. So I really do like him. And you know, he's just like, if you ever have a problem with anything, they really do look after their customers. So that's what I would do. So I think Phil's got a Wolverine in his ARP9. I'm sure he said before.
And Brian says Phil. Oh yeah, so there you go. Yeah, Phil's Wolverine is amazing. Yeah, it didn't say what it was in, but yeah.
So that's got to go on that plate. We'll do that
So,
afterwards.
because this is same Wolverine that does the MTWs, isn't it? So I'm guessing they do the engine separate as well.
Yeah, they did engines
Like their
first
actual-
before they did the
Yeah.
MTWs.
Okay, yeah.
So, and the MTW is lovely.
Yeah, well, yeah. I hear about them most every day. With
I've built an
Josh Matt down
MTW
here.
and people have seen it, and the only thing that puts me off, like I went to a game 2 weeks ago, and I'd built my MTW, and I was really looking forward to getting a bit of time with it.
And then you use your MWS.
And I used my MWS, and there was a couple of people out on site that were using HPA, and they were just full auto in everything, and it just put me off
Yeah.
to the point where I thought,
Oh yeah, I remember you saying it's sort of like that mindset of
don't
if
get me
people.
wrong, I know,
Yeah.
I know that everybody's not like that, so,
Mm.
but it just put me off, and I thought, well, if that's how someone could perceive me if I was using one, I just had so much fun with my MWSs. I was like, you know what? So I'm currently moving it on, and if old Josh from Airsmiths is still wanting it, we're looking to do a bit of a MTW, MWS trade, and
Give a try.
we'll see how that
That was
goes.
funny listening to that conversation.
It was funny listening to the conversation.
It was funny listening to.
All right,
just
okay.
just reading it.
I'm glad I could amuse you.
Yeah, Brian says it was the ARP9. Lee's said people have said the Polarstar has better trigger response over the MTW.
How do they?
Not MTW, over the Wolverine, sorry.
How do they like justify that?
I'm
If
guessing
you ever
it's
find
over
anything
the end of the day.
HPA, there is no lag in trigger response.
Yeah,
So you're talking
literally in milliseconds, I'm guessing.
you'd never perceive it. You'd
Yeah.
never perceive it. And you just won't have the backup like Wolverine offer with their products. I'm not trying to put you off the Polarstar, please don't misinterpret that. In my opinion, I would go for the Wolverine. You could very much go for a Polarstar and never an issue, and I understand that they are popular, it's got a massive fan base. Just for me, I know whose pocket I'd rather put the money in, that's all.
He's saying he doesn't know, this is why he's so indecisive.
I've seen people with guns, like with Wolverine stuff, that have had them for like years, and they've had an issue like years later, which is, you know, remarkable that a gun's so reliable, and they've still looked after the customer, even though they're out of warranty and such.
Always nice to hear.
And
So you might as well, if you've got the product and you believe in it, why not?
they've actually got a clause written into their terms, which is called like watch your six or something like that. Got your
Okay.
six or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like when your
I think I might have heard
warranty's
about this.
over, they still look after you.
Which is always nice.
Whether
isn't it?
that be like they do the parts and you cover the postage, or they do you like a really cheap price on the parts, I'm not too sure.
Yeah. I suppose it depends on the problem, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
At that point, but yeah.
I think the circumstances might change depending on, like, you know, if you've thrown your Wolverine engine up against a wall in frustration, I don't think they're going to just replace the
Yeah,
replace
that's a
the
bit
unit.
different. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're just a really nice company to work with.
Mm.
Whenever I see someone in the Wolverine owners group like pop up with a problem, I always see Wolverine like stepping up and just helping them out. So
Yeah.
Apart
Remy
from-
says if. Go on, carry on.
no, carry on.
No, if you gonna carry on that point.
I was just, you know, thinking out loud. So
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, Romeo says, if I had a BB feed line around 1 meter, do you think I would have feed-in shoes? It's just one of the guys on site mentioned the idea and liked it. It's something I've never seen. Now, I think I've seen a couple of people in the States do like backpad fed LMGs with a large feed line, but I don't know how reliable they are. Because there seems like there would be a lot of moving parts and stuff like that for that.
I would just be mindful of like site rules. A lot of sites are cracking down on HPA, and if they see you with like, you know, a HPA engine and you've got a backpack worth of ammo, they're just going to think you're there to full auto everything in sight all day. So
yeah, it's different if you've got like a minigun and you're doing it for that sort of juggernaut vibe. But it's when you've got like an ARP9 just with like a massive backpack of ammo, I think it'd be a bit different.
Yeah, it'd be very different.
And Lee says, "Run over my gun. Can you fix it, Wolverine?" To be fair, didn't they test that video series, the MTW, and they were absolutely
like properly
tearing
it
it apart. Yeah, they were launching it, and saying, I've seen them on YouTube. Seems like there's a lot to go wrong. Yeah, Brian saying Wolverine all the way. Yeah, just from the amount I hear about them from like Josh and all of the Joshes down there, because there's loads. They
all
love
the
it.
Joshes.
Yeah, there's at least 3, if not 4, in one group chat I'm in. So it can be a bit confusing. But yeah, they're all raving about them all the time down here. Again, Josh is like a specialist for like HPA stuff down here anyway, so it's pretty much he's always on about them, and someone's always going to him with stuff, and he's just going through what can make them better and why they're so much better than other sort of systems. It's always sort of nice to hear. So I've always said though I wouldn't go HPA anyway, because I'm just so fond of like the TM recoil system, and it's just easier for me to do, like, because just charge a battery, plug it in, and there you go. Like, don't have to worry about everything else that comes with HPA.
Now, do we want to talk about that NGRS MP5?
Oh, come on then.
Talking about next gen recoil shocks.
Yeah.
Is anybody excited about that? Because I am like frothing at the mouth.
Yeah. I would if it was the silenced version, like the front end, and but still have the sliding stuff. I would instantly.
I think I'm gonna buy into the fanboyism again, and I'm just gonna get that one on release.
Yeah.
And just put like a real, try and get a real lit forend for it. Because that's how I used to run my TW5.
Yeah.
I had a real surefire, like the grip with the torch built in.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful, but if anybody knows much about TW5s, the 40 round mags aren't fun. And it's just like, at the time when I was using it, you were just outgunned by everyone on the field. Like, someone could have one mid cap and they'd be carrying more ammo than you with like 10 mags. Well, probably not. I'm going to a bit extreme there. High cap now.
I don't know what it's going to be.
72.
72, is it? Okay.
Apparently, yeah, 72.
Which isn't far off. What was the Scar? Their original like M4 Stanag mags are 82, I think, aren't they? So it's not too far off that.
Scorpion Eva mags, 72 rounds.
Yeah.
They were 75, I think. Yeah.
Romeo saying my site doesn't really allow full auto, and we are pretty well behaved, and most of us like semi is more skill and precision.
You know what though, Romeo? I would much rather now go to a site that's semi-auto only.
Yeah, same. That's just my sort of thing anyway.
My experience,
because it's what happens most of the time at
Mills
Milsims anyway, and I just like it. So.
My experience 2 weeks ago on a site that normally isn't bad for it at all. It was just like
went full send.
You know what? It's just there's no. Not that there's like there's like skill involved anyway with airsoft to a degree, but it was just made it like every time you'd walk 5 meters, there'd be 3 people lying down in a bush, and you'd just get full autoed in the shins, and after like 10 minutes of being shot on full auto, and you're shouting that you still hit, and you're trying to move out the way, and it's like, oh, you hit then? Yeah, mate, I was hit on the first 2 BBs.
I think again, like we had a conversation about the other week, I'm attributing stuff like that to the fact that no one's been able to play for so long. They're just trigger happy and just itching.
Maybe.
It might level out and ease off a bit in the next month or 2, maybe, but it just depends. Because there's going to be some people like that anyway. But
if someone said to me like there's a site and I was talking to some guys that came in the shop. They're from Red Alert Airsoft.
Why have I heard that before?
It's not far from you guys. It's sort of in between you guys and London.
Okay.
And they were telling me that on their site they run like ammo limits quite strict. So like at any one point, if you're like a rifleman or such, you can only have 400 rounds on you.
Right. Okay.
And
very Milsim based. That is.
Not Milsim based. Like you can rebomb up all your mags and stuff at like your spawn point or.
Oh yeah.
The only people, it was like a weird rule because what they were doing. I mean, I might be butchering this from what they told me, but like support gunners could have more ammo, but anyone could bring up ammo for the support guns, but for their own guns they'd have to go back and rearm.
Okay, that's interesting. I quite like that.
So anyone could bring up ammo and support the support gunners, just not like have a load of ammo in like a bag or BBs or anything like that. And if you think about that, I mean, and this goes back to what I was saying about the game I was in, and some dude like an hour into the game shouted he was on his last mag, and he was carrying 10 high cap mags,
which is mental.
So an hour in, he'd shot like 3,000 rounds, and I was like, we haven't had that many enemy contacts to just shot that many people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's like another thing that makes me laugh is when you're on the way to the game zone and people are just going, just firing everywhere just to test their gun works. Inverted commas test. And you're like, mate, you've got to go and load up now again. We've not even got to the game zone. Like, what are you doing? I never understand that.
People stuffing sneaky speed loads down their boxes. It's why we predominantly, the people that I shoot with usually do a lot of weekend games, because it's just a better rule set. It really is.
Yeah, it does tend to work that way, and it's
and
sort of nice having that.
The longer that you have been in, into Airsoft, the more people probably agree with me.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, for me, before I even started playing, I'd been like watching stuff and just like learning stuff for about a year beforehand, and I knew I wanted to get into Milsim, so I was already in that mindset of wanting to be like that anyway.
Right. I need to
play those kind of games. So.
I need to get thread locker, so just give me 2 seconds.
No worries, dude. Cheesy speed. Oh dear. I started playing Milsim, but now, to be honest, I play both outdoor Milsim, indoors I like speed, soft start play. Yeah, it's fair enough. Like, there's a lot of people that like both styles and are happy to run both, but obviously for others it's one or the other. But yeah, I think it's always good to have a bit of a change. When I went to my first like Milsim, battle sim type thing, I was told that I would, by my mates, like I'd probably want that experience more than normal game days. We did like a 1-day event, and when we came back the next day I went for like a normal game day, and although I love the site that we were playing on the Sunday, I did sort of notice that feeling was sort of a bit different, and it was so cool to have been at, say, I think we were at Longmoor at the time, the day before. It was just that kind of environment was just such like on another level that it was sort of a shame to not be able to play that again. So I knew what they meant, but I still like the community aspect of just like your local sites. So that's why I quite like both types of gameplay and game styles and stuff like that. Still, it's just because you get two different two different sessions out of it, two different sort of environments. It's always quite nice to switch it up.
What's this
Yeah.
weekend adventure?
Lee was saying he started playing milsim, but he now likes like playing like outdoor milsim sort of stuff, and then indoors he likes playing speedsoft style sort of play.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, it's always nice to have a variance. And when I went to the indoor site in Truro, down here in Cornwall, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it so much, because I'd not really played indoors at any sites before, and I wasn't sure about like obviously how close it was and stuff like that, like room to room. Although we'd done like room clearance stuff during some like training sessions and whatnot, so I knew I'd sort of be alright with it, but I just wasn't sure if I'd enjoy it as like a game with other people playing like in that sort of style of gameplay. But I enjoyed it. I loved it, and I went back quite a few times. But yeah, it was just sort of like that apprehensive feeling the first time you get round to it, as to whether you'll enjoy it or not. But it's always worth giving it a go if you're not sure, and then if you do like both, then it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Romeo said now he's gone, let's pinch his gear.
I'll fight you for it. I just need to check which way around the sticker goes in the gearbox.
The sticker?
Yeah, I've never done an Asta before.
Alright.
Because I normally do Titans. But I'm pretty sure the sticker you have to put on the opposite side of the gearbox for the trigger.
Alright.
There we go. See that? Because the KWA doesn't have the tabs on the gearbox like this one does.
Yeah.
So one more distance from pin on. Okay, that's fine. I'd rather it be correct than assuming. Okay. Be interested to see how these fare compared to the Titans.
What's the main sort of difference between the two? Is there much to it, or?
Honestly, there is a guide somewhere that shows you. So it tells you like the differences between the two and what features you get, and it's not massive, to be honest. Like with the Titan, you can use higher voltage batteries like 14.8s and stuff,
which I don't see many people doing at all.
a lot of the extra features. But then again, when you look at the pricing, the Astas are not far from like a basic Titan. There's like 10, 20 quid in between it, so...
I suppose it's just more of a costing, I guess, isn't it?
Let's fight. I consider myself the Bundy of Airsoft. What's a Bundy?
Ted Bundy, perhaps.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. I have what we like to call an Amanda, and I'll let Amanda fight you for it. Yeah.
Lee says that's what's got me into HPA. To be honest, changing style. I feel like gas is just grim when it's cold, even indoors.
Oh, don't get me started on gas.
I wasn't. When I was talking to another Josh down here about swapping my SR25.
Another Josh?
For an MP7. Yeah. Yeah, about swapping the SR25 for the MP7. He had, I believe, a gas one. And he was like, do you want that one? I was like, oh, I don't know, because I'm not a massive fan of gas. But I was just like, maybe, because I could just have it straight away. But I've decided to go with the AEP and upgrade it a little bit. To,
do you know, if I could find somewhere that had gas MP7s in stock, I would, because I'd love to get a TM one.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm a massive TM gas fanboy at the moment. The AK I think I'll get when it comes out as well. The AKM, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I
was watching through their videos on their YouTube channel the other day.
Yeah.
And I saw them doing the firing test again for the AK, and it just looks so bad. It looks so good.
Yeah.
And I don't like AKs, but it look good. dear.
Yeah, are they?
How
They're
many
just...
Joshes? There's about 5 or 6, I think, that I know of down here.
Have you ever seen that? I
There's
can't
one-
remember that comedian's name. When he talks about his grandfathers, and he's like, my other grandfather, and he does it like 10 times. Have you ever seen that sketch?
No,
It's like you with Josh's,
That's quite funny.
and my other friend Josh.
Yeah, because what is there? There's 3, I think, in one of the group chats we're in, which is obviously Airsmith's Josh, the one that owns Tier 1, which is the indoor site, and then another guy that plays. Then there's Josh, which is Lizard Airsoft Supplies, which is one I was talking about with the MP7 and stuff. And there's probably 1 or 2 more that I can't remember at the moment, but there's quite a few.
Too many Joshes.
Yeah, there is. Eldritchia on YouTube says they're going to get into HPA as well. What are you thinking about doing HPA wise?
What am I thinking about doing HPO wise?
No, you pleb. I was just talking about someone on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if you've got an idea, what are you doing? Would you HPA a gas gun, like HPA type gas gun, or is that just too much of a pain with all the mags and stuff?
Nah. I think if you HPA tap in a gas gun,
You're doing
it's
it wrong.
because that gas gun probably never works.
Right. Okay.
Or you just
That's
want
fair.
to, or you just want to use like a drum mag, and you don't want to reload, which is fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Seeing a lot of that recently.
The
Little to no effort possible
thought the
in
Asta
play.
wasn't compatible with the KWA Gearbox. Well, I can't understand what would not be compatible. It's literally just a version 2 gearbox. You have more friends in Josh's than I have altogether.
Sorry, mate.
You and me both, Romeo.
Oh, maybe was it because it was a T10 that he was trying to put it in, perhaps?
It's exactly the same gearbox.
Oh, right, then, never mind. You're trying to provide potential.
The T10 has the recoil system in the back.
Evening Zero. Okay, fair enough.
I don't
Eldritch
know.
Shield. So he was going to put a Polarstar Kythera in a Crytek CRB. There's a lot of, like you say, there's a lot of people with Polarstars.
We're talking HPA. Where's the gas love? Where's the MWS boys hanging out?
Got a Retro Arms gearbox coming. Nice. Cool.
We shall see
Lee
what
saying,
this-
I have a Glock 18C with a primary M4 adapter. I call it the clock down. Right, okay. Jesus Christ.
The Glock down.
Good grief. And Romeo saying we're all friends now, so that's fine.
Oh, thanks, Romeo. Special
Still more
friends.
Joshes.
Still got more Joshes, yeah.
Oh dear.
I'm just going to start calling you Josh.
What, me?
Yeah, just start calling you Josh.
Why?
I don't know. It's just
Just
easier.
another Josh.
It's another Josh I know then. I feel part of the,
Josh
part of the
Mark
club.
9.
Josh will come on and he'll be really confused about what's going on here then.
Yeah. Oh dear. He's built it in lockdown out of boredom. Fair enough. Don't blame me. The amount of times that I've stripped everything off of my plate carrier, gone to think, oh, I might be able to make this more comfortable, and then put everything in the exact same place. In lockdown. It's stupid.
You won't believe the amount of guns have been brought in that have gone, oh, I built this during lockdown because I was bored.
Yeah.
And
it's
it didn't
shagged.
go to plan, so I'm going to leave it with you, and you're like, okay, and then you look in the case and it's just in like 1,000,000 parts. It's like, oh. So you did something that didn't quite work out, now we get to...
You did something which
Clean
didn't
up
work
the
out,
mess,
which
yeah.
was taking it apart.
I mean, props for trying. You don't know unless you try, but you know.
Rodriguez says, didn't they just have that pool noodle fight to find Helmet, Josh? I saw that the other day, I think it was earlier actually. I just saw the
Is
post.
that something
about
to do with
it.
Airsoft Alphonse?
Massive. I don't know.
I know, unless he just posted about it. There's
It
not loads
might,
of people with
but I
pool
don't know,
noodles.
I think I just saw just a random post about it earlier.
that. That's old part. That's an old part. I think we're pretty much good to go, boys and girls. Let's put that in there. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Let's just send it, shall we?
So last time it was a fire selector, but I think you're fine on that one.
Did I forget the fire selector? Which gun was that on? One of
It's
these?
after today, to be honest. Was it this one or was it? No. Was it? No. I can't remember if it's the original one of these. Not sure.
Are you trolling me now, boy?
No, I can't remember if it was that or if it was when you were doing a bit of maintenance after the game day.
I am going to have to open this up again because the cables are in the way of the hole.
Alright.
So, sitting two in the way.
At least to tell you what, just put one of them Maple Leaf Decepticon silicon bookings, and I like it a lot. I think he means about his G18C, perhaps. Yeah, I saw that Eldritch show. I think it was earlier. It came up as a post on Facebook for me. About the Josh thing.
Battle of Josh.
And it's mental, innit?
Did you know
it?
How many of them there did you know?
Who got the pyro stuck in his collar.
Yeah, it was like a tag round, wasn't it?
I don't know. I think it was one of their, like their normal grenades, like you know, like the plastic ones that have the spoon and stuff. Proper came hooning in onto the.
Is that the one where it bounced and it like bounced into his face mask area?
I don't know if it bounced, but it just came absolutely flying in.
The one that I saw, like it bounced across the floor first.
Take it off.
I hope he was all right.
Yeah, I think he probably did it. I can't remember if he had ear pro on, but he had a lot of gear to probably minimise a lot of whatever it was. But yeah, that's not cool. It's just. Lee said I put 2 Mark 5s in my mate's dump pouch last year. That was hilarious.
I've seen people put like pyro in the dump pouches. The smokes are the best because they just keep going.
Yeah.
And some friction happens and it ends up setting them off. And some guys just be like randomly running across a field, and you're like, "Dude, you're on fire." He's like, "Oh, sound, thanks." No, literally,
It's not compliment.
literally, you are on fire at the moment.
Oh Christ! What was it? I saw. I think it was a couple of days ago. There's a video of someone. So they were crouching behind a bit of cover, and I think someone comes up behind them with a lit pyro and just puts it right between their feet as they crouch, and they just sort of call out to him, and he looks around like, "Oh shit!" Just looks underneath and it blows up. Zero N says, "Give us GBBRs."
Give who GBBRs?
Well, I'm guessing the stream, like as like a watch that kind of thing being made. I don't know.
You're confusing me now.
I think he means do some tech work on GBBRs on stream, perhaps.
I did on the last one, didn't I?
Yes, but that's not this one.
Well, I can't work on my gas blowback every stream.
Carlos says, "Hi, what is this KWA?"
It's a QRF Mod 3. Well, it was.
What? It's now a
QRF Mod 3.
Jesus Christ. As a VMP9, isn't it? Is that what they were calling it?
Yeah.
So there we go.
Just trying to get these wires to sit out the way of this bloody hole. Basically, you need to drive a pin straight through this hole. And when I set the wires down, I thought it was fine, and it's just moved up.
It's not done what you wanted it to.
It's not playing ball. So...
Zero asked, what's a good booking for HK UMP 45 GBBR for .32s?
No idea.
Right.
Never worked on one.
I've always heard UMPs, although I didn't realise there was a gas one, I've always heard UMPs have really bad mags and feeding and stuff.
Which brand did he say it was?
HK.
So it'd be
I'm
a
guessing
VFC one, wouldn't it?
Imrex VFC, whatever it is.
Don't know.
I'm assuming anyway.
If it's just a normal, VSR style rubber, you know, the world's your oyster. You could probably use a lot of different rubbers.
Mm.
Right, you can see this on camera now. I've moved that out of the way. If it moves back, I'm just gonna rage quit and go watch Rick and Morty instead.
Jeez.
It's been a busy day today.
What have you?
I've
what have you
laser
done?
engraved, deep etched like 32 rifles,
Yeah.
cerakoted 2, stripped down an MTW for Josh ready to be cerakoted. Laser engraved 61 bolts for KCO2s.
Bloody hell. KCO2s, okay.
Yeah, for Rogueworks.
Hmm.
And now you get a lovely tired me building guns in front of you.
Hmm.
Ideally...
Carlos,
Sorry, Karen.
oh, go on.
No.
Okay. Carlos asks if the Mod 3 has the same internals that the TK45C has.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. I do.
All the KWA SMG AEGs are the exact same internals, pretty much, apart from the hop units.
Which is fair enough because they're all different.
Just a different body. Take a different mag. I have the 45C. I've got the QRF Mod 1, and we've got a Mod 3 as well. And what make is the carbon fibre silencer you have on your QRF Mod 1? It's not a make. It's me. I made it. Billet end caps. Proper carbon fibre, not that stick-on rubbish that ASG likes to use. Yeah, made in-house. So you can go on to Jaeger Precision, which is JAEGER .co.uk, which is where I do all the nice little funky bits, and you can see them on there. So they're normally made to order, and I also do like what do you call it? Cerakote on the billet end caps as well if it's needed. So yeah, made in-house by moi. So that's another pain in the arse. Carbon fibre, massive pain in the arse to deal with. Just custom gun things in general can just be a pain in the backside. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Cerakote's just like one of those tasks that it's not necessarily difficult.
Tedious.
It's just, yeah, it's tedious.
Yeah. Romeo's asking if you could possibly source him a drum mag for the SMC9 at all.
Fortunately not, no. You'd have to have one that was specially made.
Fair enough.
Sorry. There are companies out there that make them, but it's not something that we stock.
It's just not common.
Right, we're good now. We're good. Sorted that little issue out.
Carlos is asking, how can I get more precision with the TK45C?
Better barrel and hop setup, and I would recommend fitting an aftermarket piston head for better compression as well. So nice easy answer for you there.
Yeah, it's always the simple ones that are the best. It's nice. Lee said, "Let's have a Josh pot." Every Josh mentioned £1 in the pot to cherry.
Just gonna have to smack this with a hammer, so I'm gonna mute you.
No, where is he?
Hurrah.
Hurrah! Romeo is saying he thought that G&G has made it, as he's seen on their advertising material. It could be that maybe they've used someone else's picture, like a repost kind of thing.
If G&G have made one, then we'll probably get it in. So
yeah,
I wasn't
it's
aware
just
that
worth
they'd
having
done
a
that.
look perhaps on G&G's own website, although I don't know how easy that's going to be. 'Cause it's all
I didn't know that they'd done one, so...
Yeah, it's worth having a look and seeing if they have, or having an ask and seeing if they have done one or not, and then go from there, I guess. Carlos is saying it's because the TK45C has good range, just doesn't have great precision compared to like his LVOA that he's got. But
Just
I
a new,
would
better
assume that
barrel.
would be the case.
Better barrel and hot rubber.
Assume that. Yeah.
Better barrel and a hot rubber shall treat you nice. You could get the old Jaeger Precision setup in it, like ask Brian in the chat. Oh, he's on the Facebook chat actually, so you're not going to see him. Oh, you will actually. Brian, if you're still watching, tell him how good your TK45 is. I'm sure he'd love to know.
Yeah, Romeo's saying they're hard, they're mega hard to deal with them directly. Yeah, I'm not sure what to suggest other than that, unless you use social media to get a hold of them, because most companies are pretty decent with that, I think, nowadays. Possibly they might reply.
G&G are just awful to deal with.
Never mind them.
Yeah, trust me. You know what the thing is, they just don't care.
Yeah, I think we said this last week as well, or the week before, if I remember rightly. We said something similar.
And everybody who stocks G&G, we don't get into it. Everyone that's normally stocks G&G, they're in like this massive price war with each other.
Right.
Like, constantly slashing prices, and G&G get like arsey about it, and it's like, well, you know.
Is that, do you think, because for so many years people have recommended like their Raider series as like the best starter gun, and people want to have that sort of first initial like buy from a new player, so they get repeat business down the line when they want to upgrade and get new stuff?
It's literally just all the retailers who stock mass amounts of G&G are in a massive price war with it.
Right.
And they're constantly like undercutting each other on price, and it just drives the price down, and then it devalues the brand.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, we ain't getting into that anymore. Let people do
Fair
it
enough.
if they want to. I don't understand why people price cut each other that much as well, that you're just literally earning like a $5 on the rifle.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing that, your business isn't going to be around for much longer.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And it's quite common in the UK.
Carlos has said, well, I found this channel today and I very much like, that's +1 follower, so nice.
Thank you very much, Carlos. Thank you very much indeed. I think we, I don't know what subscriber count is now on YouTube. I think it was close to 22.
It is. Well, it says 22k on here at the moment, just as a...
Wicked.
Nice. So this is for you, Carlos, but it's Brian who says my KWA outranges some snipers and sniper rifles. So there you go. That's how good a TK45C can be with the right bits.
I just built a T10 for a customer, and at the same time he bought not an upgraded sniper rifle, but a sniper rifle that comes out very well out the box.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, the T10 just literally smokes the sniper rifle to the point where it's not even worth using the sniper rifle because the T10 outranges it.
Yeah.
Honestly, these KWA guns, when you put the right parts in, they're just unstoppable. I remember the first time I used my TK45C in the setup that you know is now in Brian's as well, and I think I got like on the day I got chronoed like 6 or 7 times because they were convinced that I was cheating, but I wasn't. And every time I came out at like 340 FPS or something daft. It's like, no, we reckon you're like,
right.
They were like, you reckon you're the players reckon you're messing with the gun in the middle of the hours. Literally, like, follow me around and
just watch me.
got one of the marshals to chrono the gun literally as he was there, and it was like 340, and I was like, go spend 10 minutes with it at lunch.
Yeah.
And he came back and he was like, "What have you got in that?"
Oh dear.
It's kind of like the best compliment you could probably get, that people are so convinced that you're cheating because your gun performs that well.
Mm.
But yeah, it's
One of those.
these guns will perform really well out the box.
Mm.
Could you push these two that I'm building further? Yes, you could.
Mm.
It would literally take an extra 15-20 quid
Mm.
for one part that goes on the barrel, in between the barrel and the hot rubber. And you know, the only reason we're not fitting them like straight out the box is because at the moment we just can't get them.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Evening, big dog.
And you can put the same.
Eldritch says, I
Sorry.
hear that G&G tend to blow their MOSFETs, and then Zero says, this is true, I went through 3-roll running an 11-1, and they've given up on GG.
Yes, they do. Every now and again.
Yeah.
It's not like super common for the amount of rifles that they sell, but yeah, they do.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fair. But again, when you sell more, you're more likely to come across some stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah.
If there's more out there to go wrong.
That's true.
Brian says, next I need a new piston head in the T10.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's need to push this down.
Declan says, the paint job looks amazing on the rifles obviously you're working on. I was looking at the T10, but a friend said as it's a recoil thing, more prone to breaking.
Nope.
Could you shed any light on this, as I'm still really interested in the gun?
That's false.
I say most recoil guns aren't exactly that strong, are they? Apart from bolt,
technically,
I think they shape us apart.
your friend is right. There's more things that could go wrong, but I don't think.
But it's not due to the recoil.
Out of all the KWAs that we've sold, I think we've only ever had one back, and that was recently, which was a QRF Mod 1, and it was like the most silliest thing. From the factory, they just set the motor height too high.
Right.
It was just popping fuses because there was too much tension. So literally, when we got it back, we put a new fuse in. We tried to pull trigger. It was like, oh, that sounds a bit high. Back this off, like 2 turns, and it was perfect. So stuff like that can happen. So.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. When people don't know stuff like that, then it's hard to think it's not broken.
Yeah. So we are pretty much almost done on this one.
Just doing the one today. Are you?
It's like nearly 11 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
I didn't know how long it was going to take, so.
Yeah.
But we'll put this one together and we'll.
Richard said it was a toss-up between the Crytek or a KWA, and I chose a Crytek, but damn, those KWA look nice.
Oh man, trust me. Trust me.
I think out of all the ones that I've seen, although I like the first Valkyrie one you've done, I very much like your Mod 1 the build that you've got.
I would put that on camera right now, but it's downstairs.
That's fair. Yeah, that for me looks so nice.
Done. This colour, like it might look good on camera. I don't see with the light and stuff, but it is something else in person. It really is. If you was to have any gun from your store, what would you choose and why? It's a good question. The thing is, I buy most of the guns from the shop anyway. So, my QRF Mod 1, the Mod 3 that we've got, the TK45, I bought all them from, in business, paid for them. I didn't just take them off the shelf. If that doesn't tell you what you need to know, then there's a trend. So if you're looking for an electric gun, these are great if you like the features and you like the style of them. If we had any gun in stock on the website, because obviously you're going off what we've got in stock at the moment. It's a bit more difficult, but I love TMMWS, and I hate to, you sound like a broken record keeping on about it, but it's just such a beautiful platform. Have I got mine handy? Let me have a look.
You're like the equivalent of Josh and his Wolverine MTW, of like of the TMWS.
Like, it's just one of those platforms that's just beautiful. It's the only gas blowback rifle, in my opinion, that works as it should out the box. All the rest drop the ball, and it just works. So I love it to bits.
You've got new optic and stuff coming through, haven't you, on that one?
New optic coming for it. I've got an inner barrel and a hop arm,
Nice.
just so I can hop .3s without having the hop set to max. So that's coming. The barrel is just a Promi barrel, which you put in most guns, to be honest, just to get the accuracy a little bit better. But to be honest, the rate that I was shooting people at distance with that, just out the box performance, put a .3 in it, and that's got a
I think
reduced.
Zero likes that one.
That's got a
Surely it might use
reduced. Yeah, that's got a reduced barrel compared to the standard CQBR as well. It's just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, lots of people like that one. Roman said,
Yeah.
"What is that? I'm gonna go look." Unfortunately,
I'll
that's not
show
a
you.
standard one, is it? That's
The gun is, it's got loads of nice bits on it,
yeah.
but this is literally an off-the-shelf Tokimori MWS CQBR. So normally you get like a crane stock and a normal M4 grip, and you get like a rail handguard with a triangular front sight post. So all I've done is take the grip off, put a real one on, take the stock off, put a real one on, just because the real parts do fit better. The magazines, I've done the mods with the stems, which I did a video on the channel recently. So I just cut the stems down. That's more of just a efficiency modification than anything else. And then the barrel was chopped down. I fitted this Geisley 7-inch and a nice HAO flash hider, which punctures your leg every time he touches you, so I'm gonna have to round these off. But yeah, it's all just like external components. The barrel, I think, usually comes to about, I think it's about 250mm. So it's now reduced. So which
It's
gave
also nice
me
to see a green sort of like colour pattern as well, like sort of two-toned.
The anodizing's
Not
off. I could strip the anodizing off this rail and cerakote it so it matches, but I don't want to, because the real Geisley rails aren't like a cerakote colour that anodize like this.
Yeah.
I've got my MTR 16, which is another Geisley build, which is like a DMR. So I have that. I bought this for like as a normal battle rifle that I can take to any site, because the DMR's doing like 440. And then literally, because I don't want to be running around with a HPA gun just out of preference, not that there's anything wrong with it, I've done a deal with Josh, and I'm hopefully going to have another. The one that I'm trading him is like a Taran tactical body kit, so we'll see how nice that is. I'm not a massive fan of that, but we'll see if it lasts, or whether I end up switching all the parts out and building something else. So, but yeah, hopefully that's answered your question.
Cool. Got a few comments. Brian's asking, the KWA you're working on, is it been flat hopped?
No.
Okay, no problem.
No, not yet.
Declan's asking, he has a G&G Warthog, but it needs some work done. There's a problem with the charging handle. It doesn't retract back, so I think the spring is stretched. Any recommended upgrades for the Warthog?
Just the usual AEG stuff. If you want a better hop and barrel, get some nice parts. As tempting as it is to skimp on the nice parts and go get like a Chinese made in a barrel, it's just spend the extra dough, get a nicer barrel, nice hot rubber. For me, again, for what you pay, for what you get, the Lilac stuff is just second to none for what you pay for it. You're like 50, 60 quid for a barrel, and then like £15 for hot rubber or something. It's very hard to beat for the money that you spend. Yes, you can get better, but not much better, and the price increases obviously astronomical. So
Colin's saying it's nice to see TM Gas recommended. He's a GHK nut.
So I've had a play with a few GHKs, and compared, they don't have a patch on it. And I understand that people devoutly like the GHKs, and I can understand why with the externals and stuff that they have. But when I compared it like to like with a TM, the TM outperformed it in every aspect.
We've got Big Dog. He's saying he may have covered it already in a recent video, but how is your VFC FNX 45 holding up if you still have it?
Yeah, I've still got it. Hold on one moment. There you go. This is probably my oldest owned pistol. I've had this for so long now, and it still works like the day I bought it.
Still doing well then.
All I did was replace the hot rubber after a long period of time, just to get a bit better hop with .3s.
That does look nice.
I did lose the thread protector at a Milsim event in Caent. The red dot optic on the top has never had a battery in it. Literally, it's there for looks, and I use it to wrap the slide when my hands are full.
Fair.
It kicks hard. The only thing I'll say with the VFC FNX 45, use green gas. Don't use anything more higher powered, because the magazines. Let's say you put red gas or black gas in one of these, and you leave it, and their mag get hot. They can expand. So the case of the mag can expand out, and then you'll find you put your mags in, and they get stuck. So you'll put it in, and you have to like literally really push it in. It doesn't fault the performance. It's just like an idiot. I ran it on red gas. I left the mags gassed, and it got hot, and they expanded. So just run it on green gas, you'll be fine, or propane.
Okay. Zero's asking what was the range on your Geisley, the MWS, that one, the small one, the green one, and what weight BBs are you using as well?
I was using .3s, and I was hitting people at 60 metres and beyond.
Nice.
And it was just like one or two shots, bat, and you'd hit someone like quite far away, and they'd just look at you. Like, there was a part in the game I was getting shot at by some dude with like a HPA engine and an M4, and he was literally rinsing BBs at me like full auto in, and I'm just behind this barricade, and I just popped up and I went bat with my MWS, and he was like, how? He's like, I've just chucked like 400 or 500 rounds at you when you're behind that barricade, and you just popped up and shot me in 2 shots. He's like, how? I was like, well, that's the difference, isn't it?
Oh dear.
This isn't just any MWS. It's a Marks and Spencer's MWS.
Yeah. Key says the T10 I have is a nail driver, only upgraded the barrel and rubber to PDI and fitted a Titan.
There you go. There you go.
Lee saying he wouldn't bother, minded that, but it's not worth okay. He's not about the charging handle thing from someone else, that's fine, he's just replying to someone else. Colin says, cheers for the reply. I look forward to a TM HTS 14 or something interesting.
HTS 14, is that like a...
I'm not sure off the top of my head, mate, before you ask.
Is that like an M14 conversion kit or something?
I'm not, maybe. Asbestos Airsoft.
HTS 14.
Oh, it's like a bullpup kind of gun.
Oh, the bullpup 74U.
Not quite. I can't really explain it, to be honest. Just have a gander. It's from
the Groza.
Festus Airsoft that I'm looking at. Probably. I think that's
the
probably what
Groza,
it is, to be honest.
It's
yeah,
like an AK-74U.
Colin's saying it as well. It's a Groza, yeah. My bad. I couldn't think of the name off the top of my head. I recognise the smell.
I don't think TM will ever release one. It's very obscure for them.
Yeah.
Again, it'd have to be a gas one.
Would the Bushido Ray benefit from you upgrading I know it comes pretty well out of the box, but you'll know better. I'd imagine any gun's better via upgrading.
Yeah, just good quality parts. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Good quality barrel that's consistent and a good quality hot rubber. To be honest, they're not bad guns out of the box anyway.
Mm.
Anything can get better with
that's
parts.
what he's saying. He says he knows they're pretty good out of the box anyway, but would you benefit from like much in relation to the price? I'm assuming.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, these guns aren't cheap, these KWAs, but you know, you put a few parts in them and it just makes them unreal.
Because you say the standard, is it the hot rubber isn't very good? So that's like
the
the first
standard
thing.
hot rubbers are rubbish in these KWAs. Horrendous. Do you have to run lower powered gas in the TM? Nope. I run it on propane. I have ran TM pistols for 10, 12 years. And I've ran every single one of my TM pistols that I've ever had on green gas or propane. And I've never had an issue. Not once.
Yeah. I think it's because there's still a lot of stereotypical mindset of TM and plastic. Because of, obviously, their pistols. But the internals of their rifles and stuff, and like their NGRS stuff is all metal, albeit not like a great metal, like externals and stuff like that.
When I first built the short MWS, I put Garda black gas in it, like straight away, just to see what it was like, and the kick wasn't much better, but the FPS went up, so I thought, I'll just stick with propane. Yeah. Propane's probably one of the most stable propellants you can use in a gas blowback rifle.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Picking up soon, use alongside a Mark 23 for the most part, run just a pistol for practice purposes. Looking forward to getting my hands on one of them. You would never, ever be like disappointed. All you got to do with the MWS is you got to do the mag mod with the stems. Take a look on the channel, and just run it on propane. 0.3 gram BBs. Job's a good one. What was weird was the one with the shorter barrel that I've got there was chronoing higher on a 0.3 than my friends with an M4A1 carb like length barrel. So not the CQBR, like the normal M4A1 length barrel. It was running higher FPS on 0.3s than his, so I actually got a bit of a dual increase from cutting the barrel down slightly.
Okay, fair enough.
Is it mostly maple gear in Bushido? I don't think so. Off the top of my head, I can't remember it being mentioned. So,
what Glock 19? What brand Glock 19 have you got on the way? 38.
I was disappointed to see that the new TM pistol was another Glock 19.
Yeah. What did out of obviously because it was gonna be a Glock anyway because that's what they teased. What were you hoping it would have rather been like a 19X or something?
That would have been better, 19X.
Yeah.
Or just a new, exciting platform. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Something a bit different than.
Weren't they teasing? What was that gun they were teasing a while ago and it never came to fruition?
I don't know.
I'd like to see them do like a Sphinx, like the Chris Sphinx, or something weird like that.
Oh yeah.
Or if they could do like a Silencer Co, the Maxim 9.
Ooh, oh yeah, we discussed this before, didn't we? Yeah, that would be nice.
It wouldn't even have to be quiet. I'd buy one.
Yeah. It would make sense for it.
Or
if
they did a non-blowback Maxim 9.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah, that would be good.
TM just needs like one of us as a Westerner just sat in the offices just throwing.
That's the thing. Yeah, they need a bit of market research from anywhere other than where they are.
Like, I'm glad they're updating like the MP5 with the NGRS because people have been asking for that for ages.
Yeah, for years, haven't they?
Like, literally, if they push through and do a gas blowback as well.
Oh yeah.
You know, if TM just did a lot of gas blowback stuff, the only reason I say is because it works.
Yeah.
Like, a friend of mine was recently talking to me, and he's on about moving on some of his WEM14s, and I was like, oh, I'd be interested in having a look at those. If he's got an EBR.
Ooh, lovely.
But I know for a fact that if you tried to skirmish that EBR,
yeah, it wouldn't be great.
It's not going to be the great. It's going to be heavy.
Yeah.
You probably want to lock it to a DMR so you wouldn't have the FPS limit on it. So if TM did like a full line of gas stuff, like they're bringing out the AK, let's say they did an MP5, let's say later on they did like an M14 or a SCAR.
Ooh,
You know,
nom, nom.
you'd have
My
a
SCAR
full, you'd have
H
a,
gas blowback. Oh.
you'd have a full line of gas blowback stuff that works, that people want, and
Yeah.
the FPS wouldn't be stupidly high. You know what I mean? Like a lot of companies
Well,
do.
that's the thing, isn't it?
That's true. TML's always going to do what they want, and they'll roll
Because
out
they
the
are,
releases. Like they'll stagnate the releases like they do all the time, because they know no
Yeah.
matter what they release, people
Someone's
are
gonna
just
buy
going to buy.
It's just gonna go. Like, especially this MP5, like that's just gonna go absolutely mental.
Yeah.
They're gonna need to make a lot because there's gonna be a lot of people wanting to order them.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm
Yeah,
caught.
I think if it had a silence front end, that would be me sold. Like,
Yeah.
I just prefer that style, the silence front end and the sliding stop. It's very nice.
Yeah. I think so. I think if it was a gas blowback, I wouldn't be as crucial of the variant that they do.
Yeah.
And to be honest, with the NGRS, I'm probably like, because I do like the SWAT Star with a lit foregrip anyway. I've got a G&G on the wall that's an SD6.
Yeah.
So I might literally sell that because it's got all the parts you could imagine in it.
Okay,
I
fair.
might literally sell that and just get the NGRS and just play around with that. Just something new and fresh. It's the GHK fan again. They teased the G17. I can't wait for that. A year ago, it never happened other than my TM. It never happened other than my TM cappers. The W3.XTM has been nuts. The GHK 17 will come, 100%. They're not going to put that much R&D just to drop it. I reckon there'll be. Oh, my camera's gone. Let me switch the camera out.
Oh, is it proper shut itself? Is it?
I think the battery's dead, so I think it lasted a while, to be honest, on that battery.
Well, yeah. I mean, 2 hours roughly.
But
Right.
let me just sort this out real quick.
Okay.
What was I saying again, Corey?
Something about the GXK G17 R&D.
Yeah, it's definitely coming. They'll have spent a fortune getting that ready.
Yeah.
So there we go. This is going to struggle now, this camera. But it'll definitely happen. It's just a case of when.
When? Yeah.
So, and that's going to be beautiful because you're going to be talking. The construction of it's going to be great. And it's a proper striker file pistol. So if you geek out on the ins and outs of what do you call it? If you geek out on the ins and outs of how they work, like a lot of Glock hammers, like with WE and such, they have like hammers in the frame, where a real Glock doesn't have a hammer; it's striker fired. So it's going to be more true to how a real
true to life kind of
Glock works. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this camera. It's won't focus, but
Big Dog saying a Maxim 9 airsoft version would be absolutely awesome. That or Kel-Tec's new pistol that uses the P90 mags, that would be pretty cool.
yeah, that'd be cool. Although with that, the mag being on the top with the gas system,
Because
I don't think
the
it'd
gas
work.
P90 is a bit finicky with the...
Yeah, they have to reroute the gas down and back up, because
Yeah.
otherwise you get the liquid form of the gas coming out rather than the gas part of the gas.
I feel it would have been better for them to have put the gas reservoir in the gun rather than the mag for the P90s, just because it's got such a big gun, like like body.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have worked though. That's the thing.
Thoughts on WE Apache MP5? They're all right. They're not great. They're not the most efficient guns. If you want one just to mess around with and not have it as a skirmish piece, then 100% they're lovely. But just to have it as a skirmishable gun, no, not at all. Aries are doing Caltech stuff, not that TM cares. Yeah, the Caltech RDB, we've got one in the shop. If you actually come and visit us in the shop in Slough, you'll be able to see it and get hands on with it. It's lovely, to be honest. But it is only a sample, so I don't know whether anything's going to change. So they might change certain things. Who knows? Time will tell. What's wrong with this camera?
CRG says, can you put the links of the electronic trigger mechanism? I have a mod 1 QRF and I want to upgrade the internals. He's watching from Mexico.
Just search gate. Any like version 2 MOSFET should fit, but gate Titan, gate Asters. I think I don't know, certain things might be out of stock on the website now, so you might not be able to see them. But Gate Electronics Europe, if you Google that, you'll send you to the right place where you can get some more information. I'm not sure who in Mexico or the US would be bringing them into stock, so
I'm sure it should be pretty easy to find if they once they do know what does fit anyway. So
I love Caltech as a company who just does whatever weird stuff that comes into their heads. Yeah, but they do it. Like they do it in a way that they actually innovate some cool features. Like if you look
and they're all pretty similarly styled, aren't they? Each of their guns.
If you want to like nerd out on firearm stuff, you go watch how the RDB operates and how it ejects its shells, and it's so much more reliable compared to like the Desert Tech MDR, which like launches them front ways, so it ejects them like as a bolt comes forward.
Yeah.
And
so they come under the bottom. Of the gun,
it ejects behind the magazine at the bottom. Yeah, so. And the Caltech stuff in the US, as far as I'm aware, in terms of firearms, they're really cheap compared to their competitors.
Okay, it's not too bad.
GHK need to make an L85. It's a small market, L85s, if I'm honest. Especially gas stuff. Like, it'd be nicer if someone did, let's say GHK did an L85 A3, that might work. If they manage to jump on before too many people buy up like the new Aries ones and stuff like that. Yeah. I think they've done a good job with that being an electronic trigger this time around, rather than like a trigger bar to sort of work the mechanism. Because that was a lot of the problem that people were always saying about, was trigger bars and stuff were always a bit crap, and always felt like squishy triggers and stuff, and it just wasn't very good. I think I found what's going on with the camera, so they should fix it. Yeah, a bit clearer now. There we go. Pesky Windows. It's always Windows. Always Windows messing with my computer. So, yeah, I think I'll call it there. I've done one.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
It wasn't all smooth, but we got one built. I'll have to build the other one tomorrow. I might jump on another live tomorrow and build the other one. Who knows? We'll just see when I get back from Slough, because I live about 130 miles away from the shop, so
like a mad lad.
yeah, it's a bit of a drive, but these should be going up on the website pretty soon. We'll have high-res photos of all the trademarks and bits and pieces. We'll have a price. Like I say, I do keep stressing it, I'm only doing 2 of them, then we might move on to something else. I would love to do QRF Mod 1s like the way mine is, but
just a different colour.
We couldn't. We'd get in trouble.
Right.
Well, we could do the colour, but I think what makes the QRF Mod 1 so nice is the sort of theme that it's got going with the markings that are on there. So we could do it without those markings, but I don't think it'd be quite as desirable.
Quite as good. Yeah.
If you ever see me on an Airsoft site and ask me if I've got it with me, and you can take a look, because it's just something else.
Yeah, that mod one is proper nice. I do like that.
If I had it here, I'd show you. But yeah, it's risky.
Well, I think it was on the last live stream, to be fair. Well, actually on the last 2, I think. So you're probably better just looking through it for that. But yeah, it is nice.
Because it was built for myself, I'm not too, cautious on what goes onto it, because it's not being sold. It's not being. It's not like a copyrighted thing that's being sold and I'm making money off it at all. It was just something wacky idea that I did for my own one, And but yeah, we wouldn't be able to sell it as a product, unfortunately. This is why this one's been called the VMP9.
Just slightly skirting around the problem.
Yeah, because ASG like to clamp down anybody going, oh, you can't call it that. Well, this isn't what you say it is. So.
Isn't even the exact same thing.
You show me
Looks
one of
nothing
these that
like
B
one other than
that
the
B and T have built. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice try, ASG. Thank you. See you next time. So, yeah, there's a lot of people clamping down on copyright stuff at the moment. So
copyright stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, it's just mental.
I know one of the big retailers got in a bit of trouble with Glock, but
oh really? Oh dear.
Oh yeah. Not for me to talk on camera, but yeah, they
yeah.
It's gonna solidify companies like Umerex and Glock and other people chasing people down because they know that companies will settle just to, you know, sort of get out of it and not have the trouble. But yeah, if you took it to court, I don't know if it'd hold up, but
yeah.
You know, unfortunately, they paid the price. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, but
yeah.
I don't even know what they were selling. I think they were selling like Maruis.
Right, but they had like full trades and stuff on still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they weren't hiding the fact they were selling them either. And this is why I cringe a bit sometimes when people are like, "Oh, we just had a delivery of Turkey Marie Glocks into the UK," and it's like,
it's not good. Just paint yourself as a target, mate.
You're just asking for Glock to slap you with £100,000 fine or something daft. You know what I mean?
Something that's definitely not worth what you'd be selling the 6 guns you brought in.
yeah, you'd struggle to get. And if it was a small shop, imagine. I mean,
you'd have to close.
The shop that it happened to is a fairly big retailer, so they might be able to get themselves out of it. Where
lucky, but even then, like, you never know.
I mean,
could have really messed them up.
Let's say if like someone like that chased us and we got hit with that, we wouldn't be able to survive.
Well, yeah.
It's which is why we don't do it.
You can't actually GoFundMe things like that.
No, we don't do it. We don't stock stuff that's like people clamp down on anymore. We don't do MP7s anymore. We don't do Glocks. We don't do what else don't we do? I don't know. Something with a trademark. 416s.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Anything HK based, basically.
It's just not worth it. The only reason we bought Turkey Marie Mark 18s in the NGRS and the GBBRs is because they were
they have the actual licensing for ones, don't they?
Well, they came in from EMG. They had EMG Colt licensing.
Right.
So it was like, oh, happy days, you know. Daniel Defence Mark license. So we only had them in because they had an official thing to say that that's been paid for and it was an official product. So otherwise we wouldn't have bothered. So anyway, I'm gonna go have some food, then go to bed and
no
catch some weeks.
Don't blame you. I'm probably getting sleep as well because I got work.
We might build the next one tomorrow if you guys have enjoyed it. If you want me to come back on, might build another one. Might build something else. We'll see. Yeah. If my parts turn up for the MWS, I could mess with that for a live stream. Who knows?
Oh, that'll be good.
So yeah, happy days.
Oh dear.
Right, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been 2 hours. If you stuck all the way through it, then you've got a higher attention span than I have, and I appreciate it. So we'll see you in the next one. If you want me to do a live tomorrow, just comment down below and let me know, and I'll do another one. We'll do another Q&A, bits and pieces like that. Other than that, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys, from Josh.
Evening all. Cheers.